back to Fold in the Cheese. It is your boy KTrull on the mic. Today I am COVID-free. I am a man with a new life and feel much better, look much better, although I've been mentioned that I look a little pasty, maybe. Sorry about that. What are you going to do? Haven't seen the sun in over a week in this Nashville snowpocalypse, now rainstorm. So I am joined today by Mr. Gelfand, Ethan, who hasn't showered in maybe also a week. How's it going, man? What's going on?
That's why I'm surviving here. That's why I got the old bandana, the old buff, just to make it look more festive than just greased and gross. So
yeah,
you can see it as
we
well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's probably a good move.
Listener, just so you can picture it, I've got my hair. It's nicely spoofing out of my buff, so it just looks great.
Splooged? Were you gonna say splooged?
I was like spoofing, but that wasn't right. And then I was nervous about accidentally stumbling down that path, so don't know what the word I actually came up with. It just kind of popped out.
Sploof. Yeah, it's a spoofed hair. He's got spoofed hair. If you want to know what spoofed hair looks like, tune into the YouTube.
Go to YouTube. Got it
currently.
Yes. Yeah, but you haven't seen the sun in a week. Neither have we, but it's Michigan in the winter. What do you expect? But so we know how to deal with snow for the most part. We have had probably 3 snow days, but we've also had 16 inches of snow. But today we had a delayed opening because of fog. Like fog.
Yeah, we just washed the fog out here in Tennessee. We know how to deal with that. So you guys are weak. That's weak.
Yeah.
Fog here.
We're weak because of fog.
We got about 6 inches of snow last Monday, which was MLK Day anyway. So the kids were off of school. That snow lasted until Monday of this week. I mean, they were off of school again Monday of this week. They were off all last week. They were off again Monday of this week because the neighborhoods were just covered in ice and no one comes to plow the neighborhoods. They plow the main roads eventually. And so people, if you get out of your neighborhood, you could get going. But like I've been told by someone, I don't know if this is true or not, but there are like 50 snow plows that are shared between here and Atlanta, basically.
That would be so ludicrous if that is an actual fact.
I don't know.
Because literally you can't go 3 pickup trucks without having someone having a plow on it. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. There's no one like that here that has a plow that they can attach to their truck.
There's no one like that here. There's not one person.
There's not a truck here that does that. We don't have that feature. We don't have that. It's like a reverse tailgate hitch. There's a front tailgate thing. We don't have that.
We don't have that.
They don't make those. Sorry.
Okay. Real quick school question. So I hate delays. Delayed openings or early dismissals, I think, are the worst. So which is worse, a delayed opening or a early dismiss?
I think an early dismissal is worse, personally, because delayed opening, you can sleep in a little bit and kids just keep them occupied for a little bit. Like I can do my shower and get ready and all that. And I can even kind of do some work if I want to. If it's like an early release and they get home at 2:00, like they're bouncing off the walls at 2:00 and it's like my day's over. So
that's crazy that they last until 2. For us, early dismissal, noon.
Well, those are half days. Those are a different thing.
Yeah, sorry, I meant half day.
Well, yeah, then a half day is worse. It's only like 4 hours of school.
Yeah, I mean, because we don't have. I guess we've never had an early dismissal where it's like, yeah, they'll come at 2. Is that like a normal thing for you?
They do it like once or twice a month here. It's crazy. It's on a Wednesday, and it's supposed to be like teacher training or something. And we're just like, y'all, this never happened when we were kids. I don't know.
Listen to how dumb we were, though. In the 3 days leading up to Christmas break, 3 half days.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Now, to be fair, we were out that whole week, entirely out.
Okay, but that's fine. Like at least okay, yeah, you're done. You can just plan for that accordingly. But here's 3 half. Don't even do that. Just
3 half days is super annoying.
Then take out the extra day, whatever. Anyway.
Yep.
Fog. Here we are.
Get back to
school. Round is over again. Fantasy. This is our fantasy football podcast, but fantasy season's over. But we just love to continue talking about it. So
we've created our own fantasy games.
We created our own fantasy. That's what we do. This is what happens. Sweet, sweet fantasy baby. You just talked to Mariah Carey. Great song. Come on. You were
singing it out. Melt it out. Come on.
Sweet, sweet fantasy baby. It was a jam. That whole album.
People tune in for.
I mean, and then when she had the duet with Boys to Men, that was just so soulful.
One Sweet Day, maybe my favorite song of all time.
One Sweet Day. You spelled that one out.
Yeah, well, you just did, so I don't really need to anymore.
Don't be.
And I know you're shining down on me
Oh,
from heaven.
from heaven. Yes. Oh, sorry. My little desk trinkets are falling down. Little
Oh no,
iron.
your Avengers are falling everywhere.
I did. I had to fix him. Speaking of, we just finished Spider-Man: Homecoming in our
Oh gosh. So
Marvel movie gauntlet.
we just finished Captain America: Winter Soldier, which was awesome.
Which I think is one of the best in the entire MCU. So,
Fantastic movie.
what were your thoughts? Because that's your
Fantastic.
first viewing, right?
That's first viewing.
Good,
Fantastic.
right?
Fantastic movie. We're up next for Age of Ultron, the Avengers movie.
Okay.
And because we've already done Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think
Right.
is next technically in order.
Yeah, we did that too.
So we'll jump into Avengers next. The kids need a little bit of a break. So we watched the live action Lion King recently, which I think I'd only seen half of maybe. And that's my favorite Disney movie ever is Lion King. And so
The live action one is your favorite?
no, the cartoon one.
Oh. Yeah,
but the live action one didn't disappoint.
no, it was
You
good.
got Donald Glover and you got Beyonce as adult Simba and adult Nala. It was awesome.
Yep.
John Oliver as Zazu. It was fantastic.
Fun fact, Brady's first movie in the theater was live action Lion King.
Nice. See, we might have had something similar for Nora.
Yeah.
I do remember them going to see it and me being like, "Why would you go without me?" I think like my mother-in-law took them out. Like, that's my favorite movie, my favorite Disney movie. Take me.
I think that was the only time I've seen it. I have not seen it since seeing it in theaters. So
yeah, does not disappoint. Okay. Recommend 10 out of 10.
I agree. Just heads up, Age of Ultron, like it's good. Don't set your expectations like sky high because like when you watch the first Avengers, like this is amazing. The second Avengers is good. It just is. It had lofty expectations and it kind of just like was a little bit.
Is there continuous action or is there a lot of story, plot, and slowness?
There's a lot of action. It's long, so there is some slowness. But there's action.
I just worry with my kids. Like there's got to be a good amount of action in there to keep them.
I mean, spoiler alert, there's some sweet Hulk Buster armor coming in. So that's pretty baller.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good to know. Okay.
So next for us is Thor Ragnarok. And then comes the doozy, Avengers Infinity War. Or no, then Black Panther. Then Infinity War. So
oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man. So sorry. Let's get back to football, shall we?
If we have to. So the divisional rounds were really close in some instances and not at all in others. So the Ravens absolutely, they rolled. I mean, Houston was a great story. I was really stoked for them. I was pulling for them big time. CJ Stroud has been crazy good this year. Shoe in for Rookie of the Year. And in the end, after kicking off some rust, I mean, it was tied at halftime.
I was going to say it was 10-10.
And in fact, you could argue that the missed field goal that doinked right before the half for Houston may have switched the momentum. But the Ravens came out after in the second half, kicked off that rust, and just rolled in the second half. They went up 24-0 in just the second half. So the Ravens are in the AFC Championship game and look like they are going to be the team to beat. 49ers locked in gridlock with the Packers. In fact, they were losing most of the game. The Packers
they probably should have
lost. Purdy had a couple throws that should have been picked. The Packers looked good again. In the end, Jordan Love, he threw one bad pick at the very end there.
Very bad pick.
As a Packers,
they miss a field goal, and then
that's right. Anders Carlson, younger brother of Daniel Carlson, those Norwegians or Swedish or whatever they are, the Scandinavian bros.
They could have been up 7 to put the pressure on the Niners. The Niners go down and score. So then the Packers are only down 3, but it should have been tied. But then Jordan Love makes one of the worst throws that you can make, especially to end your season, especially when it wasn't needed. Time wasn't really an issue. It was first down, and he's running, throwing across his body, basically just lofts it up.
Yeah.
It could have been picked off by 3 guys, and of course it does.
Yeah, it was not good.
Great love the Packers had. Obviously, the youngest team in the playoffs. It showed on that final play, but I mean, they could be scary.
They got a nice nucleus. They got a nice future ahead of them, I think. And I think Jordan Love is for real. I think he's pretty legit. So
I'll tell you what. Screw you, Aaron Jones, for showing up in the insignificant games of fantasy world. Screw you,
falling out of control in the playoffs.
This is what I drafted you for, and you do it when it's done. So screw you, Aaron Jones.
I think he said in his post game, he's like, "This is for all those fantasy managers who drafted me and hated me all season." For you, Ethan Gelb, man.
Got you.
Got
I'm just
you.
improving my draft stock for next year, I guess. See, I'm still good, you guys.
29-year-old running back draft stock.
I'm still good.
So those were the Saturday games. The Packers are the Niners in the NFC Championship as well. We had the Lions and Bucks, which was a shootout as we expected, and the Lions held on, ended up closing things out in the second half there in the fourth quarter, took care of business. Jahmyr Gibbs, freak. Amon-Ra, of course, freak. Sam Laporta, freak. He's healthy again. Look out. That's another team with a very strong young nucleus. Yeah. They look good. They look really good. And I think that Niners matchup is going to hinge on Debo's health. And I think it's going to be a great game. I really hope. Yeah. I hope it is, at least.
I do too. I would honestly be happy with either one of these teams going to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Niners have kind of shown it all year. The Lions looked like a Super Bowl team. Then they would have a couple dips. And now they're rounding back into form. I think also just great story for them. Obviously, the first 2 home playoff games in Ford Field history. And then obviously not winning a game for 30 playoff game for 30 years. So, I mean, you look at the silly posts online, the map of who's rooting for who in the NFC Championship games, like the state of California, San Francisco, everyone else, Detroit.
Everyone else, the Lions.
So, I mean, they're just a feel-good story. I hope it would be great to see them in a Super Bowl. They've never been to a Super Bowl ever. Not even like to say they lost one. They've never been. But
it would be incredible.
At the same time, it would be. Niners are a good story. Obviously, Brock Purdy from Mr. Irrelevant to potential Super Bowl participant. Although Niners have been to 5 of the last 6 NFC Championship games, or 4 of the last 5, something like that. But haven't had anything to show for it. They lost in the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, and then they keep losing in the championship game. So
lost in the Super Bowl with Kaepernick.
Kyle Shanahan, hot seat,
Kyle Shanahan, get him out of here. Well, why can't you win with these teams?
Remember in the early 2000s when the Eagles would consistently make it to the NFC Championship game? They made like 3 years in a row, and they lost 3 years in a row. And they were saying like Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb, get him out of town. It's like, dude, you're getting there.
The Eagles fans were so mad at Donovan McNabb, and you're like, this is you did have Randall Cunningham, but like this is basically otherwise the best quarterback you've ever had. Like, what on earth are you talking about?
Right.
I mean, Ron Jaworski was pretty good.
Get to a Super Bowl, obviously you lose to the Patriots, but like it's just crazy to think that all these teams who have such good runs just like don't get that last piece, and it's like, oh, they're terrible. Get them out of town.
On the flip side, the Cowboys do have something to complain about because they can't even get there. They have all the makings to be the greatest team in the NFL, and then they just come up short every year, and it's way short. It's not even NFC Championship.
I love it. I love the drama. I love the fact that everyone always has such high expectations from them. Then they give you that glimpse. And it's like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. I'm good. No, thank you.
Ow.
All right. So then we had the Chiefs and the Bills, and this lived up to the hype as well. Another classic, just absolute knockdown drag out. And the Chiefs, once again, prevailed. They shouldn't have. They
shouldn't have.
Don't seem to have the team this year, but they keep winning in the playoffs, and that's what they are known for. So you cannot count them out.
You can't. And would you say this is the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has had in his tenure?
I thought last year's defense is the best defense they'd had.
Okay.
And then they showed it in the playoffs, and that's how they ended up winning. But this is the same defense, if not a little better. I mean, they drafted a couple guys that are also studs. So, This is, same as last year, the best defense he's had. And so he's getting the job done. They're winning games. And that's what makes them a wild card. Like, you can
never count them out.
The Ravens as a guaranteed win here, even though the Ravens are a far better team.
Right.
Wild card, Patrick Mahomes, and the defense is good enough to keep him in it, and he's good enough to beat anybody.
Reid, so another X factor. I mean, I know John Harbaugh is also a great coach, but Andy Reid can also just put things together. He's in those great State Farm commercials. I mean, you gotta love the man.
Let's try it again with those nuggies. That's my favorite.
Those nuggies. But also crazy stat: Patrick Mahomes, as a starter, has always played in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's dumb.
That's insane.
That's dumb. 2 Super Bowl wins, 1 Super Bowl loss. Like, my God, come on.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Wait, is this still the truth that the only person he's lost to in the playoffs is Tom Brady?
He lost to Burrow in the AFC Championship.
That's right. Okay, take it back.
You wish it was Brady.
Well, no, it was
freaking Homer.
Prior to the Burrow, Tom Brady was the only one to knock him out of the playoffs.
Okay. He's only been in the league for like 5 years. Calm down.
6 years as a starter.
Calm down, Brady. Calm down.
Sorry, I can't say one historical fact.
It's going to be, it's not even a fact. It's not even true.
I'm saying at one point it was. My God.
Yes, the first year he got knocked out of the playoffs. The only person to ever knock him out.
Wow.
Thomas Edward Brady. Wow. Moving on. So we got the Ravens and the Chiefs. We got the Niners and the Lions. I think it's anybody's game. Have you seen the drama with the logo of the Super Bowl this year?
It's the script that it shows who's going to be in there.
Yeah, it's going to be the Ravens and Niners, and because the red is the lesser color, the Niners are going to win. So that's how it's gone. There have been 3 Super Bowls since Super Bowl 55, in which every Super Bowl logo was just the Super Bowl trophy with the numbers, and it was all silver, and there'd be like one color underneath. In the last 3 Super Bowls, they have shown a logo with 2 colors kind of fading into each other. And they've announced these at the end of the previous Super Bowl. So it's like a full year for this. It's not like running into the playoffs. And every year, the 2 predominant colors of the logo have been the dominant colors of the teams in the Super Bowl. And the lesser color that's shown has been the winner. So you had the Rams over the Bengals. It was an orange and yellow. You had the Eagles and the Chiefs. Lesser red with some green in there. Now you've got a purple and red logo.
It looked like a seafoam green. Seafoam.
It was. To be fair, it was more like a dolphin. But, yeah, but they're gonna claim it anyway.
Oh, of course, especially if it is Ravens, and because even if it's not the Ravens, they got the Chiefs with the red, the purple.
And the Lions blue is like that. Purple's kind of bluish.
It's a lionish blue. You know,
it's a lionish purple, right? It's kind of like a lion's purple.
Yep, there it is.
So that's what they're gonna say. So go ahead, mark it down, parlay it up. Ravens, Niners. Lock it in. Do you want it real quick? Do you have prediction on these games before we jump into our playoffs thing?
I really don't. I mean, if my gut would say Ravens, Niners, my heart wants to say Ravens, Lions. I think they're going to both be good games. I don't see either one being a shootout, but no blowouts in either scenario. I think they'll both be good.
Let's be honest. There's a chance if there is a blowout, it's going to be the Niners over the Lions. There's a chance the Lions completely crap the bed because, in part, number one, they've had those valleys that you mentioned, but number two, they're a different team away from home as well. There's a chance the weather will be fine in San Francisco. I've already checked. Will be fine. It's going to be like high 60s, low 70s. It's going to be nice, but there's a chance they just completely shit the bed.
At the same time, they've met or surpassed expectations, so it's almost like you're playing with house money. They're going on the road, so it's like, hey, why not us? We're still here, that kind of mantra. Like,
yep.
So
let me correct myself. When I say there's a chance they shit the bed, what I really mean is Jared Goff. There's a chance Jared Goff shits the bed.
He's going home, man. He's going home.
You might be distracted by local fooderies and things.
And what is this warm weather?
Weed dispensaries. Who knows?
What, the sun?
Melting. All right, so we've got to update a couple of our contests now. This is going to be fun. So we've got the fantasy contest where we pick players and track their stats. And I got to tell you, we're crazy close right now. There's almost no chance that I can win this, but I'm gonna try anyway. And after 2 weeks, I have 287.3 points.
Okay,
and you have 285.96.
Wow,
we're super close. I did not tally any scores for the defenses because we both have Niners, and I don't. It's too difficult. I don't want to.
Well, and we had the same kicker too, right? So we don't technically.
No, we don't. You have Justin Tucker. I have Moody.
Oh, that's right. You went with Moody.
Yeah,
that's right.
And Tucker has been the better play, but the defenses. Unless we pick differently in the Super Bowl, I'm not going to mess with it.
No,
too much work. So,
good time. And that's crazy because. I mean, obviously, I had the benefit of having a lot of the multipliers because, as you said, I only had 2 players playing in the first week of the playoffs.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess I have benefit. I'll let you break it down, but I'm just going.
Yeah, you had a full squad in the second round. Everyone getting double multipliers, and that obviously helps you come back quite a bit. Stephon Diggs underperformed. He's not been good.
Who has?
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
he's been a weak link for your team. So he underperformed and they got knocked out. So you're going to replace him. James Cook had a decent game, 12 points both games actually, but the second week you get 24 because it doubles. So he's solid for you, but you got to replace him as well. You and I both had CMC, Ayuk, and Kittle. and you had Zay Flowers, who was really average, 8.1 points, but Lamar went nuts with 36 points.
Yeah.
That doubles to 72 for you. And now I'm out of quarterback, even though Josh Allen has been balling out of control.
I was going to say Josh Allen had a great game, but yeah, unfortunately, it knocks out your multiplier there, which is a bummer.
Yeah, it does suck. My multiplier starts over at 1, which is no good. So it's going to be really hard. Quarterback, obviously, get the most points in any setting. So for you to be at 3x for Lamar and me to be
but here's
at
the
1
thing. Depending on what quarterback you pick, like let's say Lamar, let's say the Ravens get knocked out, and if you pick them all or whoever comes in from the NFC, I mean, you're right back in the thick of it because I'll be in the Super Bowl with a multiplier of 1 where you'll have
I'll be doubled up. There's a possibility, which is why I even fielded a roster, but it's not looking good. I need the Ravens to lose badly, and I need you and I to not have the same picks for our replacement players.
Right, because I can't remember. Was Diggs my flex or was he my wide receiver?
Diggs was your flex.
Diggs was my flex. Okay, so I need a flex and a running back.
Yep.
Okay.
So, do you want to go ahead and just
go over? Can you go over your roster again? Because I can't remember. I don't want to
Well, I'm gonna do something probably crazy though. But
you're gonna sub someone out?
I may sub someone out.
Wow.
So I've got going into last week. I had Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, the Gus bus. Gus Edwards was my replacement for Devon Achane. Running back slot, not been good for me. I had Debo, who got hurt immediately. I had Ayuk, Kittle. I had Nico Collins, who had a really solid week, 11.8 points, but again, no multiplier. Jake Moody in San Francisco. So I've got to replace Nico Collins, and I've got to replace Josh Allen, and I might replace someone else. We'll see.
Okay, got it. And I have to replace Cook and Diggs.
Okay. Yes, you have Lamar, CMC, Ayuk, Zay Flowers, George Kittle, Justin Tucker. So you have all Ravens and Niners.
Okay.
Which did inform to some degree my decision.
I'm going to go bananas if you want me to go first because I've already locked it in my brain.
Okay. I guess so.
If you want to go first, that's fine. I've already locked it in. So whatever you say, I'm not changing it. So.
Well, the thing is, I don't want us to have the same player. So
I'll go first.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Or no, if you want me to change, if I don't think you're going to be picking these two guys.
Go ahead.
But, all right. For my running back, give me Pacheco. And flex, give me Amon.
Yeah. So I had
Amon. Okay, so if you have Amon, I was just in my head thinking you don't have Amon Ra?
No.
Okay, I was going to change him if you did.
At one point I did. I was going to go with at one point I had Gibbs and Amon, and I was like, let's just throw them in there and hedge. But what I decided to do instead is just decide that it's going to be the Chiefs and the Niners, which I don't think it will be. And so I'm just going to go Mahomes, Pacheco, and Kelsey.
Oh, so
that's the one where I'm like, no, Kittle is still in. Kelsey's my flex now.
Oh, Kelsey's your flex.
And Pacheco, I'm replacing Gus Edwards. That's the one I was going to replace Gus Edwards.
Okay.
Because honestly, Justice Hill is a better option anyway, which is who I should have chosen instead of Edwards. But
okay. I like the Kelsey. I was honestly, if you had gone with Amon Ra, I would have switched it to Laporta.
Yeah. I looked at Gibbs and Amon Ra, but then I was like, I mean, I'm guaranteed to have a Super Bowl contender there, but I'm going to lose like my whole team because the rest of my team was all Niners, and I didn't want to take Goff. I was going to take Purdy. So I just said, screw it. I'm just going to go straight Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I'll keep Debo in there with a 2 times multiplier.
Just hope he plays.
Yeah. If he doesn't, I don't even know that they're going to win, honestly. I mean, they're such a different team without him that that's the big question mark, I think, going into this weekend. And the other one is Mark Andrews maybe returning for Baltimore, which is crazy. But, like, he was a full participant in practice last week. Didn't get cleared to play, but another week healthier. I mean, he could play this week, and that could be dangerous for Baltimore.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm locking in Pacheco and Amon.
Yeah. So unfortunately, then that blocks me with Pacheco, but I do have Mahomes and I have Kelsey and my flex. So if Kansas City pulls out a miracle, you will be starting over at quarterback and flex, but you will have double Pacheco just like me.
Yep. Interesting. Okay.
And then at that point,
it's still up for grabs.
It's possible. Cool. It's possible if the Ravens lose.
Yes. If the Ravens win, you're pretty done.
I'm totally done if they win because I don't have any Ravens.
Yeah.
And you have 3 of them.
Okay. All right. Who would have thought I'd be cheering for the Ravens? I am cheering for the Ravens anyway, but
I know you're such a Mahomes hater with you.
I'm not a hater.
Brady's records.
I don't hate him at all. I think he's spectacular, and that's what makes me nervous. So
I named my child after this man.
Yep. You got it.
Yep. All right. Let's get to these prop bets because these have been fun. These have been a lot of fun.
They've been on point, which not to pat myself on the back, but toot on the horn. These have been pretty close, which is kind of cool. So we'll do a real quick recap. Who will have the most rushing yards? We both went Lamar Jackson. We were both correct. He had 100. The next highest was Pacheco with 97. Then highest number, we both went with Lamar Jackson completion percentage, which was very high. It was 73. And what was crazy is Josh Allen rush yards was another one, which is 72. And then the winning one was Kelsey receiving yards at 75. So we just missed that one.
That's probably one pass, right? That's probably one drop pass or one incompletion. Throw the ball away or something.
Yep. All right. Next, we had most passing yards. You went with CJ Stroud, who had 175. I went with Josh Allen, 186. The winner was Patrick Mahomes, 215. All right. Switching over to the NFC. Who had the most receiving yards? I went with Amon-Ra. He had 77. You went with the NFC field, and that was Romeo Doubs at 83. But Mike Evans was the big day, 147. Then this was a fun one. This one was really close across the board. So I'm going to say all 4 of them. I went with a higher number. So you went with Baker's quarterback rating, which was a 94.5. I went with the combined score of both NFC games, which ended up being 99. The other 2 were McCaffrey rushing yards, which was 98. But the winning entry was Jahmyr Gibbs all-purpose yards with 114. So
Jahmyr Gibbs, if you're nasty.
All right, then we had bigger difference, the score of the Tampa Bay Detroit game or the Green Bay San Francisco. We both went Green Bay San Francisco. We were both wrong because that was 3. The other one was 8. And then finally, this was a fun one, kind of weird across the board. Highest number, you went with Stroud completions and Baker attempts, which ended up being a total of 60. And I went with the underdog of KC receiving yards. That was not Rashee Rice or Travis Kelce. And it was an MVS game who had 62 himself, ended up being a 93. So I got
that's that the thing. He had 62, and the entire receiving core had 93. That's exactly why that was a good. That's exactly why that was a good prop to throw out there.
It was a gamble.
Like, if he doesn't do that, then they're at 30 yards. Which is like normal.
When I thought Clyde Edwards-Helaire lost it for me with -1 yards, I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
-1 yard for Clyde. Yeah.
So rough week for us both. It was 2-1 me, but again, they were all close, which I think is the fun part, that these are all super close and that it really could have gone any of the ways. So they're fun.
Okay.
So this week you helped me out. You did 3. I ended up doing 4. Do you want to go first or you want to go second? How do you want to do it?
I'll go. Why don't you go ahead and go first? Because I've got the NFC game, which is the later game. So go with your AFC bet first.
AFC game. All right. Which is going to be the higher number? Zay Flowers receiving yards, Pacheco rushing yards, Jackson rushing yards, or the wild card himself, MVS receiving yards?
That one is a wild card. I'm going to stick with what I know, though. I'm just going to go with Lamar.
I, too, had Lamar locked in, so we were going E and K. All right, so I will answer first on this one. All right, which will occur first?
Oh, boy.
Okay. An OBJ reception, a Pacheco touchdown, a Lamar interception, or any fumble? Anybody?
Going to say a scan to Taylor Swift.
I mean, it was in my head, but I was like, I really don't want
That's going to happen immediately. Is a fumble, does it have to be recovered by the opposing team?
A fumble lost.
A lost fumble. Okay. Yeah.
Any fumble?
I'm going to go with an OBJ reception.
Okay. You're going first.
Sorry. I shouldn't have.
That's fine. You're going with OBJ reception. I'm going to go with Pacheco touchdown.
Okay.
All right. And then the last one, will there be a kneel down to end the game?
Yeah. Do you going to answer first?
Oh, sorry. My answer is no.
My answer is yes.
Woo!
Woohoo! Let's go, baby! Okay, I'll do my NFC props, and then you've got one for the entire
Yes.
weekend. Okay, so I channel my inner Gelfand on this one. So
Love it.
which of these will have the most yards
Okay.
in the San Francisco and Detroit game? The San Francisco wide receivers receiving yards. Okay, so it excludes McCaffrey and Kittle.
Okay.
Okay, no Kittle, no McCaffrey. These are wide receiver position players. So you've got Ayuk, Debo, Chris Conley, Jawan Johnson, whoever.
Yeah.
Detroit's wide receivers receiving.
Okay.
No Laporta, no Gibbs, no Montgomery.
Yep.
CMC's all-purpose yards.
Okay.
Gibbs all-purpose yards.
Give me Detroit receiving.
Okay. I'm going to take San Francisco receiving. I will tell you in the last game, San Francisco's wide receivers had 140-ish yards. Detroit's wide receivers had 130-ish yards. CMC had 128 all-purpose yards, and Gibbs had 114. So they're all pretty close.
Love it.
I just think Detroit secondary is so bad. Purdy can carve them up. I do worry if Debo plays or not. That doesn't make a big difference. But Ayuk could have 140 so quickly.
The only thing I'm thinking is I feel like Detroit's going to be playing from behind a little bit, so they're going to be airing it a little more. So we'll see.
Yeah,
but I like it.
Okay. What will be the highest number? Total score of the Lions 49ers.
Okay.
David Montgomery rushing yards.
Okay.
George Kittle receiving yards. Sam Laporta receiving yards.
Give me Montgomery rushing yards. Wild card.
That is a wild card. Last game he had 33 rushing yards.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna bust one.
He's gonna bust one. I'm going for one of the tight ends here. I was really back and forth. It does depend on if Debo plays. I think if he doesn't play, Kittle's a kind of a lock, but I'm gonna go Kittle anyway, just so there's no shenanigans here. FYI, the total score over under is at 50.5.
The other one I was thinking was Laporta, but
so Laporta had 65 receiving yards in the last game. Kittle had 81. Montgomery had 33 rush yards.
Okay, go give me D-Mon.
Monty. Okay, and which of these will be closest to 2?
Yes.
The number 2. David Montgomery rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
Touchdown maker. Debo total touchdowns, rushing or receiving.
Yep.
Brock Purdy passing touchdowns.
Okay.
Jared Goff interceptions.
Purdy touchdowns.
Purdy.
Give me old broccoli.
He's pretty much a shoo-in for 2 passing touchdowns every game. I'm going to have to agree with you there.
Okay.
I'll take Brock as well.
All right. So this one, great job. I like those 3 a lot. So this is a combination for both games. And keep in mind, these are just coming out of my brain. It's not looking at any box scores. It's let me think of some shenanigans. All right. You ready?
Yes.
What is going to be the lowest combination? Okay. Purdy incompletions and David Montgomery rushes is 1. Kelsey receptions and Laporta receptions is 2. Lamar Jackson rush attempts and Jared Goff interceptions and touchdowns. Or Chiefs points scored. What is the lowest combo? I guess Chiefs points scored is not a combo, just a number. What you got?
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
This is a good one.
First of all, again, these are just coming off my brain. Do you think those are – I think those are pretty close.
I think the Chiefs points will be highest.
Okay.
In my mind.
In your mind.
Lamar rush attempts is in the 10 to 15 range, and Goff interceptions plus touchdowns
4 or 5.
1 to 3 total, I'd say. So you're probably looking at like 16-ish. Kelsey and Laporta receptions is my inclination. Okay. Because I think you're probably – but Kelsey can rack up 12 receptions, but Laporta is good for like 6 catches, and Kelsey's probably 6 or 7. I think you're going to end up in the 13 to 15 range there. Purdy incompletions, there may only be 8 of them, but Montgomery's going to get 12 rushes. So, I mean, I think that's going to be also kind of high. So I'm in between the two middle ones there, personally.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go with Kelsey and Laporta receptions.
Kelsey and Laporta receptions. Okay. I was between the incompletions and Montgomery rushes, even though I'm kind of negating myself with other answers with Dave Montgomery here. But give me
he's gonna have one long rush, and that's gonna be it.
Right. Give me Jackson rush attempts and Goff interceptions / touchdowns.
Okay. All right. I love it.
Oh yeah, I gotta write that down. I need to write that down.
Write that down.
Write it down. And you got yours, obviously, correct?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. I love it. It's crazy. I can't believe we're already to this point where it's the championship weekend. I texted Aaron, see if he could get me some free tickets from Google. He said no. So screw you, Aaron.
WTF, Aaron. Thanks for nothing.
Google just gets thousands upon free tickets. But anyway. Yeah. So it's going to be sweet. I hope they're good games. I think they are going to be. And really pumped for the hometown Lions. Who are you pulling for in that game?
Lions.
Did you say who you thought was going to win?
No, I didn't.
All right, quick. The listeners want to know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Ravens Niners. I think only because of the logo. That's entirely it.
That's it. All right.
I believe in it.
The script is in. The fake, you know how they do like fake trailers or like fake scripts. The fake script was Cowboys Bengals.
That's
right.
The
real script is Ravens Niners. So you heard it here first, but not really first. So until next time, keep on folding.
Hold it.